Welcome back to Castle Farms Homestead. Today we are back on the shed again, and after we've got our 3 walls up, we're now going to start sheathing it with some insulation and the OSB sheathing.
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
Trying to think if there's anything else to tell you. It's cold today.
It's a little chilly today.
Yeah, I mean, it's supposed to be a warm day. It's supposed to get in the 50s, but there's a breeze out this morning, so my fingers are frozen. But we're going to get on it. Right now, we're putting up this polyiso insulation panels. We're doing 1 inch of polyiso insulation all the way around it. And then on top of that, we're going to sheathe with the OSB. What we're using here are these little plastic discs. And so we're just taking those, screwing those into the wall. The disc then will hold that polyiso on. One of the things we have to be careful of is if you screw too far in this, it'll just shred into that polyiso. So we got to be careful when we do it. So we snug it up good, but we don't rip through it. We're putting 2 per stud. There we go. Snug it up a little bit, not too far. 2 per stud, 1 top, 1 bottom, just enough to hold the polyiso on until we are able to get the OSB on. With the OSB, we'll put lots of nails through, and that'll really secure everything up on there. The other thing you'll notice here, because the building's 24 feet long, these sheets, 3 of them together would be 24 feet. But it's going to be longer, really, because the polyiso's inside of the exterior of the building. So we're going to just cut that off, which comes off pretty easily. We'll just score that down, and then we can snap it off. So what we're doing on our doorways and windows, and we'll do this also with the OSB when we put that on, is we're just covering them. And then we can go and from the inside, we can just actually cut right exactly at the dimension of the door and the window. So, in fact, at least with the OSB, we're hopefully going to use, although this may create an issue, I was going to use a router with a flush bit to get a perfect cut, but this might be an issue. We'll see how that goes later. Got mud on the ledge, got to make sure that's clean. We already took 1 panel off a minute ago we thought maybe it had something underneath it, but it didn't. It was just our imperfect concrete. Okay, we have our first row up all the way around that side and the wall in here. We need to cut that off down there, and then we're going up. Next row up. Coming along. So everything is looking really good. Panels are going up just great. I went around the other side, the end wall there, and as I was getting ready to go around to the other side to put on this next row, I was looking up and thinking about the row to come, and I realized, once again, I got ahead of myself. So one thing I forgot to do that I don't think it's a big deal, these aren't super structurally holding anything together, is I forgot to put my top plate on. If you look up there, we're doing a double top plate. We've got our 2x6s at the top up there, but I'm putting another row of 3x6 that will really secure things up. So all these places where there's joints between the two 2x6s on the top and at the corners where you got the two walls coming together, you overlap those and secure them down and really shores everything up. So before I go any further, I'm going to get busy, get those top plates on. Oh, I just thought of something. It's not a mistake unless you don't fix it, but I did make a mistake. One of the purposes of the double top plate is to connect the walls together. This wall is stopped right here, but the other wall is going to come into here. And so that piece up there needs to stick out further so that when we put the wall underneath it, we can secure that down and connect this wall here to this wall here. I blew that. Dang it. Gotta pull all those screws out. Oh well. So the thickness of this sidewall here is going to be the thickness of these 3x6s, which is 5.5 inches. So I need to have this overhang by 5.5 inches. So we're going to check that. Gotta bring it out some more. Okay, I like that. All right, I'm not going to make the same mistake this time. I'm going to make sure I only bring this over to the side wall here, because my end wall goes all the way over. So I want this to be the same distance to the side wall here, and then my next top plate will cover over here. I've got two seams in my top plate, my first top plate here and over here. And as I'm lining this up, I see that it is bowed, because I know this is pretty darn straight and it's way off. So what I'm going to do is I'll secure this end down first here, and then I'm going to make adjustments as I work my way down and straighten that wall out. Should work. It's a little trick for you. If you need to move to line up a wall and you're having some difficulty doing it, enlist the help of your hammer. Put a screw in or nail in, hook your claw into that, and then you can just pull there and pull that over where you want it. Get it right where you want it. Beautiful. Now let's see if I can do this left-handed here. Screwing left-handed. Well, let me check that alignment first. I'm going to move down there And still I'm hanging out there, down there, so I'm gonna make that adjustment same way I just did this one. You can see how much out of alignment that is right there. I'm gonna put a screw in here and get one ready here, and then use my hammer to pull that over and line it up right there. I'm trying to make it flush on the opposite side. I'm gonna hold that there. Not bad. Still need to kind of try to squeeze that up. I've got a little gap in between here. I'm gonna try to suck that in. Again, all these boards, none of them are really, I mean, some are fairly straight, but a lot of them are. Okay, just gonna secure this down with a few more screws. Woohoo! And I just need to measure and cut one to fit on there. I'll be done with that wall. It's another day and we are back on the shed. We've got the insulation all around it. Now we're gonna tape it on all the seams. We're gonna put a tape to seal it so that it becomes airtight, and we're not worried about the vapor barrier, although it should add a vapor barrier, I believe. But we're also gonna put vapor wrap around the OSB when we put that on. So, but right now we're gonna try to tape it quick, because I think rain's a-coming. Again, for the next few days. I think we're going to be fighting that. So we'll get done what we can. Let's get at it. Look at that rainbow over there. I don't know if you can, yeah, you can see it there. Zooming in on it. Yeah. Somewhere over the rainbow, we are out in the boondocks, trying to build us a little homestead while we get rained on and blown on and dusted on a lot. With the tape, what we've got to do is we got to start from the bottom, work your way up, just like you would with roofing and flashings and everything else. This is essentially a type of flashing. So you got to start from the bottom, work your way up, and that way water sheds off of it. So we're going to start here on the bottom row, run it all the way across. Then once it's on, we're going to take a roller and roll it on there, because it's pressure sensitive. The pressure of it will make it adhere. I'll do a little rubbing just to get it on there initially.
Well, rub and touch and squeezing?
No, none of that.
Oh, okay.
There'll be none of that here, young man. It's not rubbing anyway, it's loving. Oh! Loving, touching, and squeezing.
Maybe that's been my problem. I've just been rubbing.
No comment.
I gotta implement some loving. Look what Clint did. Ripped it immediately. I just put this up. First thing he does, rip it. And then right before I start filming, he says, let's just skip that hole. No,
Come back and fill it over it with tape and skip it for the filming.
not a chance. That's the only interesting part.
Brady just likes to show me in a bad light.
I paint it as well as I can.
So this is our roller we're using. It's not the conventional roller. If you know what this roller is actually used for,
leave it in the comments.
Put it in the comments. But it'll work. It's a rubber roller. Just needs pressure, so that'll work. Why am I being so particular about taping all these seams and all? It's just a shed. But the reason is because it's our utility shed. And water tanks going in there, not a big deal. That doesn't matter. But we're putting in our our solar stuff in there, our inverters and batteries. And those LiFePO batteries, once they get down to freezing below 32, they don't work. And so we need to be able to maintain this shed above freezing so that we can function. And so we'll probably put a little heater in there that'll be temperature sensitive. And if it gets down below 40 degrees or something, it'll kick on. And as well insulated as it's going to be, which I hope it'll be, we shouldn't have to worry too much and shouldn't require a lot of power to keep it warm. In fact, I don't know yet. It may not even have to kick on ever. But we'll do a little testing once we get there and we get the stuff in there. We'll put a thermometer in there that we can monitor and see what happens. I'm kind of hoping that just the ground temperature and the water at about 55 degrees radiating some heat off those tanks will keep that the room in there above freezing without any heat.
And he likes to be particular.
If you're wondering why we haven't finished like that section and this section and here, down here, so if you remember, this is a door and 2 windows that we've gone ahead and covered up for now. We'll be cutting that out pretty quick here, but right now the door and the window are covered up. Is that going to be the end of the video?
We'll see. If this is the end of the video, thank you for watching our video. If you liked it, be sure to like it. Let us know in the comments any thoughts, questions, comments, concerns that you guys have. And as always, don't forget to share this video with someone else so that we can share how we got one step closer to our goals and hopefully inspire you guys to get one step closer to yours.
Good job, Brady. That was good. We'll see you next time on Castle Farms Homestead. You can cut that out if you're going to continue on.
I'll leave it.